We're going to talk the Kia Carnival now, aren't we?
Well, you lucky bugger ended up with one of those down in Cape Town for a couple of days. As your little,
my economy run around.
Your little run around.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Slumming it down in Cape Town as you were, Al.
Well,
So, but you had the big Carnival,
I had the big
the one that's just over £1 million.
That's him.
That's the one with
That's
electric
him.
everything.
Correct.
Have you seen that thing with all the seats folded down?
No.
Have a look at that thing with
Yeah.
all the seats folded down. It is phenomenal.
It's probably a double bedroom.
It is 3,600 litres or something like that.
Jeez, are you serious?
It's insane.
No, that's
It's
ridiculous.
absolutely massive. It's
That-
over 3 cubes.
That is ridiculous.
No, so
But
you
now,
can you can literally pack your kitchen sink in it.
What's interesting about that vehicle
Yes.
that I found was it's massive. It's heavy. It's got everything on it.
And
It's
it's
got
still
all
got
of the
that
stuff.
2.2 litre diesel.
2.2 diesel
It's a
engine,
fabulous motor.
148 kilowatts and 440 newton meters.
440.
Yeah,
Wow.
because it's a diesel,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you can do
yeah.
it. And driving through an 8-speed automatic gearbox.
They've popped that up.
Okay? But
So-
now you would think
It's a wonderful motor, that.
that 148 kilowatts wouldn't be enough for a thing that big, that heavy, and that with all that kit on it.
The torque makes up for it.
Look, you're not going to take it to the local racetrack.
No.
But as a cruiser, as cruising around, and remember I did have the advantage of being at the coast for a change,
Sure.
even though it is a turbo diesel, but still, it does help a little bit.
All these little bits help.
But I cruised around, it was an absolute pleasure. And you know that I was running at something like 7 odd litres per 100 as well.
Good heavens.
Yeah. I can't give you an exact number, but I checked it a few times. It was something like that. But the only thing that's wrong with that vehicle, from my book, that I've got to state right now, is I shouldn't have been driving it.
Yeah, you should be
Because
sitting in the back.
The middle.
the middle
Those
row.
separate captain's chairs
they
in the
look
middle
fantastic.
row that recline, move, do their whole trick. I should have been there, and I should have someone like you driving. Except then Leadfoot would have ruined the fuel consumption
Absolutely
again.
not. I would have booted you out in 10 minutes.
But really, you know, it's a niche market, as it always is.
I have to say that those two rear middle seats, why isn't anybody else doing them? What a clever idea.
There are.
What
There are a
clever
few
idea.
others doing it. Merck do it in the V-Class.
Yeah, but at a much higher price.
Yeah, Toyota do it in the Top Quantum.
Okay.
So there are a few options like that around, but I don't care if there are. To me, that makes my day.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got to, I don't know if you watch the review video I shot over there, of course, where you lie back in the seat, press the little button, and the sliding door just goes, good night.
And off you
And
go.
of course, with the privacy glass and everything else, you literally could say good night.
And we were talking about the S-Class Merc
Yeah.
earlier. In the left passenger seat of the S-Class, it has seat controls at the back of the seat.
It does on the Kia too.
Exactly the chauffeur or the chauffeured
Yes.
to move that pesky seat out of their way so that they can
Forward
have a little bit
and
of a lie
fold
down.
the backrest
Exactly.
down, so you could either put your feet up on it, or for workspace, or whatever the
They
heck
fold-
you want.
Exactly, they
Yeah,
fold it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like it, quite honestly. But look, £1 million. You know what? In today's world, that's not a lot of money anymore. Sadly,
Well, for this
and
kind
not
of
for that kind of vehicle,
this kind of size vehicle, yeah,
which
yeah.
still gives you 8 seats.
Yeah.
Or no, I think it's 7 seats in that version. Apologies. It's 7 seats, but that doesn't matter.
You have 8 in the lower
in
spec
the
version.
lower spec
Yes,
versions,
yes.
because you don't have those captain's chairs.
Correct.
You've got a bench there as well, so you would really slum it in that case. But a 7-seater, massive, still. Oh, by the way, still got a massive boot too. Because you know how many 7-seaters suffer from that?
Yes,
Where we've got 7 people, but we better put a trailer behind to take the luggage.
correct.
Nope. First of all, a decent space going forwards towards
Okay.
the rear seat, but more than that, the height. And
So you
that
can
rear
actually-
seat is set quite. It's a very high vehicle, very tall vehicle.
Sure.
So the rear seat is set pretty high. So you can quite safely stack probably 4 suitcases high in
Brilliant.
that section.
Yeah, clever
So
thinking.
you
Yeah.
could really, you could honestly
Because that's
luggage for.
often the problem with 7-seaters. The angle of the third
Yeah.
bench of seats
Yeah.
precludes your
By
loading.
the time
of-
you've got
Exactly.
too high or whatever,
Yeah,
that it's not
exactly.
safe anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this you could load. You could genuinely take the luggage for the number of people you can fit.
Fantastic.
And I put that as a big feature and a big, something one has to look at
Oh,
with
absolutely.
all those
If you-
kind of vehicles.
If you don't have to tow a trailer, you're already ahead in the game.
But
And
other than that,
driving it around, how did it feel? Did it
You
feel
know,
as big as it actually is?
no.
Yeah.
And this is something that I say often about double cab buckies today,
Yeah.
where the technology has got to such a point where I don't care whether you're driving a Mini, and I'm talking an old Mini, not the,
Are there any other kinds?
yeah, okay. But whether you're driving a little thing like that, or you're driving a double cab, or you're driving a Kia Carnival, why is everything so light and easy to drive? Parking, the controls are easy, but just allow for the size of the vehicle. But with cameras, with beepers, with blah, 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 you're an idiot if you can't do it right. But just look for a bigger parking space, that's all.
Yes.
So any shopping centre I go to in a double cab, you notice how small the bays are getting in shopping
I
centres?
have noticed with some
Yeah,
interest
Correct.
As the bays get smaller, as the cars get bigger. And I
Yeah.
mentioned before, I can't understand that relationship, but there it is.
So
I tend to when I've got a test car
Yeah.
on review, I tend to park on the far side of the parking lot.
So do I.
And just do the
Yeah.
schlep because the
No,
last
you-
thing you want to do is come back and you've got someone else's car and someone has opened their door with some violence against yours and
Yeah.
left that little dent. We all know it.
yeah.
And
So
yeah.
the Carnival fits into that category just the same, okay? Where just realize you're in a big vehicle.
That's it.
But the other thing, of course, now, the driving experience. Because you've got such a big vehicle, such a long wheelbase, there is still no substitution for long wheelbase for smoothness when you're just traveling down the road.
Sure.
You can never get away from that.
That's it. Physics counts.
So the sublime smoothness on a freeway at 120, which it'll cruise at all day long, literally, and probably doing like 2,500 revs if
Yeah.
that,
Wonderful.
with the diesel engine. In fact, I think it was like 2.25, whatever it is, in that range. You can't hear the engine, you smooth as anything. It just, that is the point, as you say, S-Class Merc.
A nice place to be.
It's got that feel
Yeah.
in that sense.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about a vehicle of that sort.
Fantastic.
So it was only a short test.
I'm a little bit jealous that I didn't get to drive it.
Yeah.
There's a subtle hint here.
I heard you.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it comes away having impressed you, which is good. And we shall leave it there.
If I had to drive a bus, it would be on my short list. Can I put it that way?
Can't say more than that.
Yeah. And that's the Kia Carnival. It was a short test, so we're doing a shorter podcast and review on it. From Alan Will,
It's a wrapper.
see you next time.